Fall in Line podcast. If you guys could please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. That's where the magic happens, right behind me. Enjoy the show. Welcome to another episode of Fall in Line podcast. I am your host, Ross. I'm with my guys, per usual, TT and Austin. Fellas, week 14 is here. It is absolutely insane. I know I said it last week, and I was thinking about it before the podcast today, how I said it was insane last week, and I was like, wow, that felt like it was a day ago. Here we are, week 14, and the clock is ticking on some of these teams. The hunt is real. The playoff picture is starting to get solidified. I saw a few teams could clinch the playoffs in the division this week. We are at that time of year where a simple mistake could cost a team their season. And I'm excited to talk about it with you fellas today. But you know what we have to do first? We have to talk about our teams and how they did this week. TT, you guys were on a bye.
Yep.
Anything cool happened during the bye week? Anyone get signed or anything like that?
Yeah, the Cardinals didn't play, so
That was cool. That was cool for you. You like that?
Yep.
Austin, how'd you guys do?
We did not do too good, man. Didn't have too high of expectations, but the offense just can't get the ball moving. Defense tried to do as best they can, but there's only so much you can do against Josh Allen.
Yep, I saw it firsthand on Thanksgiving. They basically can do whatever they want when they want. It's just when they want to turn it on. It's just if Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs decide they want to make a big play, they're going to make a big play. So yeah. I, on the other hand, have a completely opposite experience than you guys. I haven't been this excited and this high on the Lions in a long time. And I say it every week, but it just keeps getting better. I mean, this is a game where you see the Lions are favored against the Jags, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. We picked them, Austin, or actually, TT and I picked them. And it was like, okay, it's a pick 'em, but they absolutely dominated the Jags start to finish. Second play of the game, they stripped the ball, and from there on out, I was like, all right, it's going to be a good game from here. We went down and scored. We scored on 8 possessions on offense. We scored points on every single possession, scored 40 points. The Lions are buzzing right now, man. They are buzzing, and they are right there in the playoff hunt, sitting at 5-7. The wild card right now is 7-5. They're 2 games out. The time is starting to tick on them as well. But, I mean, teams in front of them, I believe right now it's the Giants who are, I think they're 7-5, or what are they, 6-5-1?
7-4-1.
7-4-1. So, I mean, Lions are about a game and a half behind. They're right there, and the Lions have a very favorable schedule. So I'm excited right now. The Lions are clicking on all cylinders. It's a fun time to be a Lion fan. This is a big test this week for them. We'll get to that though. But yeah, that was my rant about the Lions. Haven't been able to brag about them in a long time, so I had to take that moment. So I can't wait to get to this part. We got to talk about our pick'em. We had a heck of a week, all 3 of us, honestly. I finished 11-3. Austin and TT, you guys tied for 10-4, meaning my must-win week with the W belt. I got it. I had to catch up to Austin. He got 1 ahead of me. I had to win this week to keep it close. If Austin won this week, it was getting dangerous for the belt. Austin, I believe we're both sitting at what, 7?
Yeah, and all because the Saints let the Bucks come back. 16-3 and 5 minutes left, and they let them come back.
Yep, if that didn't happen, then insane. Austin would be the belt holder right now. Shout out to Tom Brady sitting right here. You know what it is. He came through for the belt. Yeah, so that's exciting. And then we could talk about another positive here. We all hit our locks. That's awesome. TT or Austin, who locked the Packers?
I did.
That was a good lock right there. That was looking scary for a little bit, but that hit. I locked the Niners over the Dolphins, and that hit. In Austin, who was your lock again?
I locked the Cleveland, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might have been the Vikings.
No, it was the Vikings, Jack. It was the Vikings over the Jets. It was. Yep. And that hit.
I think it was the Vikings over the Jets.
Yeah, he said one of the two. It was the Vikings were dominating that game. It got a little scary there at the end. The Jets had a chance to really win it. And Garrett Wilson is a star in front of our eyes, dude. He is lighting it up lately. Anytime Zach Wilson's not in the game, Garrett Wilson goes off, which leads me to a question for you guys. Speaking of Zach Wilson, speaking of the quarterback position, there's been some eyebrow raising performances lately on people you don't expect to see it from, the good and the bad. Geno Smith having a crazy year, but I want to ask you guys, what's going on with these legendary quarterbacks playing really low this year? Is the time running out on Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, or what's going on there?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think unfortunately with Tom, you kind of saw it all game last night. He just isn't making those easy short passes that he's made throughout his career with the Patriots. And I think the offensive line's a little banged up, so he didn't have as much time. So yeah, I think he's just a little bit weaker, and his mind's there, but his body's not. So I think finally
Yeah,
catching up to him a little bit.
he missed Julio on a few throws deep that, Brady, you just don't expect some of this stuff you're seeing out of him this year. And I know Rodgers is still winning against like the Bears and stuff. He's still doing what he does against the Bears, as we said. But I mean, even he looks off. Thank God he finally found a wide receiver one he can count on in Christian Watson. Hopefully that helps him out a lot. But this is just a really odd year for people our age that have seen Rodgers and Brady dominate for so long. And now we're in the era of Mahomes, Allen, Tua's even up there now. Geno's having a ball. He's balling out this year. Burrow is up there too. I mean, it feels like the era is changing. I know people have said, well, obviously this happened a few years ago with Allen and, Mahomes, but it wasn't to the extent where Brady and Rodgers weren't still up there competing. Like, I don't even have them in my top 5 right now, performance wise. I know the talent wise they are, but performance wise, no chance. I'm taking 3 or 4 or 5 other quarterbacks before I'm even taking either one of them right now if I'm starting a team. Not because their age, obviously, but because of their performance.
Yeah, for sure. I feel the same way. I mean, you look at guys who, or quarterbacks who I really felt like most of my life have been top 5 quarterbacks I really got to watch play in my lifetime, and that being Matt Ryan, who I've always thought was a very underrated quarterback. Well, he doesn't look underrated at all. He looks awful. He's been benched already this year multiple times. He'll have maybe one good game here or there. It's not even necessarily a good game. It's just a win that the Colts get. And then you watch a guy like Stafford, who led his team to the Super Bowl last year. They win the Super Bowl. He goes and gets hurt. And even before that, he looked off. Before that, the Rams haven't looked good. He looked off. He's a guy that I was always used to watching being able to throw the ball the whole field down deep. And yet, I mean, it's another guy. You watch him miss Cooper Kupp. You watch him miss Van Jefferson a lot this year. But still, I think it's a lot more disappointing to sit there and see the 2 greatest quarterbacks that I've got to watch play in my lifetime, and that being Aaron Rodgers, who I'm not a Packer fan, really. I'm not really a Packer fan. I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. I've always loved watching Rodgers play.
Right.
I respect his game. And to see him fail like he's been failing this year, and he even said, a lot of people are like, oh, he's got a thumb injury in his throwing hand. And even he said that's not an excuse. I've kind of played bad, and then you watch Brady, who's the GOAT. Brady's the greatest winner I've ever watched in my lifetime. And yet I have a team in Tampa Bay who I thought has a lot of stars on it, who has a losing record right now. So,
yeah, and they got one airhead move by Mark Ingram away from losing again last night and being behind in the division. Like, if they don't win that game last night, they're most likely going to lose the division and miss the playoffs. And Brady's not at an age anymore where he can miss the playoffs. He doesn't have very many more missed playoffs in him. Like, he's got to, he's going to win again. It's got to be soon, because I mean, they're getting it's starting to see, we're starting to see that age catch up a little bit here. And it's just an odd place to be, to watch the Packers and the Buccaneers struggling with those guys at quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, maybe there's something with the league changing and they just haven't been able to adapt or something, but it's not normal to watch these 4 specific guys really not play well. I mean, it's not normal.
All right. Austin, you got anything to add, or you want to move on to the picks?
No, I think we're good to move on.
All right. Austin's like, quit talking about Tom Brady like that in front of me. All right, let's
He's gone
move
against
on
Tom Brady
here.
multiple times this year.
I mean, you have to. I mean, it's not,
Uh,
you got it. All right. Thursday night football, the Raiders at the Rams. Raiders favored by 6 on the road to the Rams, who possibly will have Baker Mayfield starting. Saw one report saying there's no chance. Adam Schefter reported saying there's definitely a shot. He heard from a source. They got him the playbook before he got on the plane here. I don't care. I don't think Baker Mayfield starting moves the needle at all for me. They might even be better off having their quarterback start that they have, Wolf or whatever his name is.
Wolford.
He almost beat the Seahawks. I mean, Seahawks scored with like 30 seconds left to win. And it was in Seattle, was it not? It was in Seattle, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Well, I apologize if I'm wrong on that. I'm taking the Raiders to win this game. Raiders are hot right now.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards the Raiders this week too. I think you give Baker the starting. I think he starts this game. Wolford, he wasn't the reason they really stayed in that game. He only had like 130 passing yards or something like that. It wasn't anything he really did. But Baker's that type of guy who, yes, he has played awful. I mean, god awful these last few years. But he's that type of guy who I feel like Baker is a team leader. He really is. I think he has a good mindset for his team. You watched him when he was on the bench with Carolina. This guy was headbutting guys with no helmet on.
Yeah.
So I think he's a leader, and I think he's going to try to go in that locker room and win the team over. But still, like you said, the Raiders are hot. They just beat the Chargers. They're probably still not going to make playoffs, but yet they're showing some fire, and I think they end up winning this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of hit all the points. Only thing I was going to add was that Donald's not supposed to be back again this week, so they'll be missing him, and that offense is just in shambles without Cooper Cup and Lady Stafford. So
If they
I'm
lose
going.
this, yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
going Vegas in this one. Yeah,
If they lose this one, do you think they even bring Donald back?
that's what I was just looking at stuff on that, and Donald said that he wants to come back no matter what. That he's not the type to sit out for the season. So I
Yeah.
would hope that they sit him out, but I think he's just the type of guy that wants.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd be pretty scared to tell Donald no. So
Yeah, especially if he has a helmet in his hand.
Yeah.
All right. Sunday games. Jets at Bills. Bills favored by 9.5 in this game. And I think a really key part to this game is the Jets beat them the first time. Um, so I think the Bills come out and dominate this game. I'm not willing to lock 9.5, but it's a close lock for me. I got Bills winning this game handily.
Yeah, I think this is a game where the Bills win too. I will say I'm kind of on the Mike White train though.
He's good, dude.
Kind of on the Mike White train.
He gets yards.
Yeah, I felt like they should have beat the Vikings in the end, if you ask me. That one throw to Garrett Wilson that hurt. But I think the Bills still are the way better team in this, and they end up winning.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the Bills' offense pretty close last week, and I think that they definitely control the ball, and Josh Allen's not afraid to move with his legs. So, um, I think with that, and then with Quinn Williams went out last game, as well. So I think that Jets defense is a little banged up and not a good thing to have when you're going against one of the best offenses in the league.
Yep.
I'm going Bills.
All right. The Battle of Ohio. Browns at Bengals. Bengals favored by 6 in this game. I was not impressed with Watson's return, and it's expected. He hasn't played real game speed. He played preseason. Everyone knows that's not real game speed in a long time. And, they got the win, but that win was because of their defense. The Browns defense dominated. I think the Bengals, they just beat the Chiefs. Like Austin said last podcast, they're ready to make that run they made last year. That's in the back of their heads. They're fired up because that now they know it's possible. They did it last year. So they know they can get hot and go a long distance. So I'm going Bengals to continue their hot streak and get the win.
Yeah, I think Bengals definitely showed that they're one of the top teams in the AFC, and kind of like we talked about a couple weeks ago, this is the time that the Bengals got hot last year, and this is when they need to get hot now. So, seeing them actually do that, I think they continue to go against Cleveland, whose offense did not look good, and the defense had to get them 2 touchdowns to win that game against the Texans team that's 1-10-1.
3
Was it 3
touchdowns.
touchdowns?
Well, punt
Yeah.
return. Punt
Okay.
return counts a little bit as defensive fantasy, sorry.
So they got no touchdowns on offense then.
No, the only touchdown that scored on offense was a Nico Collins touchdown in the last 2 minutes of the game, if I remember
The
right.
Texans, yeah.
Yeah.
Go blue. Donovan Peoples-Jones had a punt return that game too, just saying.
Yeah, I think this one is a pretty easy game this week. Watson didn't look good at all. I mean, he was missing a lot of throws. That ball was just kind of diving into the ground. The Bengals looked good. They beat the Chiefs. I don't think a lot of people seen that happening either. So give me the Bengals this one.
3 times in a row they beat them. That's crazy. In a calendar year, they've beaten them 3 times.
Yeah.
He just owns Patty Mahomes.
Yep. All right. This one, short and sweet. Texans at Cowboys. Cowboys favored by 17 points. 17 points. Cowboys have been putting up numbers this year. Fellas, Cowboys, anyone picking Texans?
Who's locking this one?
I'm not locking 17 points for anyone.
I mean, the line opened up at -8, and I definitely would have taken that. But now it's at -17. That's a lot of points.
Why did it go up so much? Do you know?
Because they beat the Colts 54-19.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Cowboys have been putting up points this year.
Cowboys offense is nice. On another side note, sounds like they're not going after OBJ. I don't know if you guys seen that.
No, I didn't.
So it just from God, I'm trying to remember. It was something about how he just didn't seem like he was ready to come back at the time they wanted him to come back yet. So
yeah, I know Jerry Jones said something about wanting to see film on him. He was at the basketball game last night with Diggs and Michael Pittman, so
yeah,
whatever that means. But I think it ultimately comes down to what Jerry Jones thinks and wants.
Yeah,
he's gonna end up in a Chiefs uniform. Just watch.
I think he goes back to the Giants just for the rest of the year. It's not like he wouldn't be back till mid-January, but I think the Cowboys won this one easily too, so they don't even need him.
All right, here's the head scratcher of the week right here. Vikings at Lions. Lions favored by 2.5 in this game. Started at Lions favored by 1. Went up to Lions favored by 1.5. Now it's up to Lions 2.5. Something fishy is going on there. I understand the Lions are one of the hottest teams in football right now, but TT, we talked about this in our group chat. You said the same thing. So are the Vikings. Vikings are they got 10 wins on the season. How can you not be hot? I'm very curious to hear what you guys got to say about this one.
So I'm going with the Vikings in this one. The Vikings only have 2 losses all season, and they were ugly losses against tough opponents, with one being the Cowboys and then the other one being the Eagles. So the Lions are hot. They have one of the best offenses in the league, but I think the Vikings are going to step up this game and kind of show that they're still on top of this division.
Call me crazy this week, guys. Call me crazy. I think the Lions win. I think the Lions keep it. I think the Lions keep it close all game long. And I think it's going to be like a 23-24 type of game, and the Lions win it in the end. I watched the Vikings, and they sort of collapsed towards the end of that Jets game, and they have a lot of wins that they should have lost, in close games. And I think the Lions are starting to connect a little bit here and there. I love the running game they got going. Give me the Lions.
Yeah. I'm riding with my Lions as well, and I'm going to give reasons why real quick. The Lions are hitting on all cylinders. Dan Campbell has that locker room so invested and so bought in right now that they're going to be extremely fired up. to show that they're one of the best teams in this division, to show that they can beat anyone in the NFL. Because say what you want, the Vikings are one of the best teams in the NFL right now. So another thing, it's at Ford Field. Ford Field is sold out. It's going to be rocking in there. Another thing, Jamison Williams came back last week. He played 8 snaps. They said, we just wanted to have him get a feel for what a game in the NFL feels like speed-wise. So they put him for 8 snaps. This is his real return game. He's going to play as if he's a normal player this week. So we get our first-round receiver back in an already high-powered offense. It's going to open up the field for so many other people. DJ Chark finally had a monster game. He had like 100 yards against his old team. Defense is ranked like 6th. I saw like something on Twitter that the defense, since they fired their cornerbacks coach, has moved up to like 6th ranked in the league. I'll send you guys that later. That tweet I read on there. It's just like, it's a weird defensive ranking thing. There's just like TT said, the Vikings and Lions always play each other so close, and they always play. And the Vikings have backed into a few wins lately. Yes, they've had some dominant wins, but I just think the Lions are ready, and I think that this could really propel them into that playoff picture.
I was trying to argue with you about that last night, and I went and like kind of fact checked myself. The Vikings haven't had like a dominant win.
No. I mean, they've had good wins, but another thing that scares me about this game though is Vikings clinched the division with a win. So that's going to be on their mind. They're going to want to win this game. It's not going to be a game they're looking past.
But I also think that division, they locked that division a long time ago, I think so.
Yeah, that division's locked up, but they want to celebrate.
One thing to keep an eye on is the over in this game too. 52.5.
Yeah.
I think I would take that with both these offenses that'll be flying up and down the field.
Yeah.
You tease that down to 42. I think that's an easy cash.
It's going to be fun. All right. Enough of me being on my soapbox about the Lions. I'm so hyped about them. Jags at Titans. Titans favored by 3.5 in this game. Guys, I watched the Jags this week against the Lions. There's no way I can pick them this week. If they win and it bites me in the butt, I don't care. I cannot pick them after what I just saw. And I don't know if Lawrence is going to be a little banged up. He came back. He played fine. But usually ankles and knees and stuff throughout the week get a little bit more sore. I'm going Titans at home. They're going to have an emotional win. They just fired their GM. So I'm going to have them playing some emotional football.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Titans also in this game. I'm starting to become a fan of Treylon Burks. I think he's a big body receiver that can go up and get the ball too. He did get rocked on that touchdown grab he had this past week. I don't know if he's playing or not.
Yeah, I don't know if he's playing.
He got really rocked, but I liked him. And I just don't think the Jags are going to be able to stop Henry much.
No.
Yeah, I picked the Jags last week, and they definitely let me down. I'm looking for them to bounce back this week. They're going to be my lock of the week, the Jags, plus the field goal and a half. I think they bounce back. The Titans are kind of going to be in a mess with fighting a new GM, still kind of figuring that all out. But I think the Jags have the defense to slow down Derrick Henry, and I don't know how healthy that wide receiving core of the Titans are. So look for Zay Jones to have a big game in this one and bounce back.
Do we know why the GM was fired?
Do we know why?
Yeah.
Underperforming. And I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that video today, but I never saw that in the Titans draft room when they traded AJ Brown. They like showed the draft room right after the trade went down, and you can see Vrabel walking away from the GM just shaking his head like this.
Yeah, I think that was with.
I did not see that video. Ross, you got to send me that video.
I will. AJ Brown being traded is for 2 draft picks is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That man's a top 5 receiver in the league balling out right now for the Eagles. He changed that entire offense. The Eagles are good, man. The Eagles are really good. All right. Speaking of the Eagles at Giants. Eagles favored by 7 in this game. Division game on the road. It's going to be a tough game.
I think the Eagles handle this one pretty easily. I think the Giants are really kind of downfalling. I think they're getting banged up. They really don't have the wide receiver core right now. They're really banged up there. I think they're starting to definitely. I don't think they'll even make playoffs. I think they're aren't they like the 7 seed right now?
They're ahead of the Lions. It's them, the Lions, and the Commanders fighting for that last spot.
Yeah, I don't see the Giants making it. They just I don't know. I definitely think they're on the downfall right now. Give me the Eagles in this one. I think they win this one pretty easily. They just fucking or
You can
they
swear.
just love running the ball. So
I check not for kids on there.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with the Eagles as well in this one. I think the Giants have finally came back down to reality, and I think that loss in OT took a lot out of them last week. So, with how good the Eagles have looked and how dominant they looked, kind of like back when they played the Titans, I think again that Eagles defensive line is just so good that they're going to be able to contain Saquon, and I think they get this win.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles as well. I'm cheering for the Eagles as well. Get my Lions closer to that playoff spot. Lions pull one off this week, and the Eagles pull it off this week. Lions are right there for the taking. So I'm sticking with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders, balling out. Let's go. All right, Ravens at Steelers. Steelers favored by 2.5 at this game. Ravens going to be Lamarless, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's looking like.
Yeah, that's why they brought in another quarterback. And I can't. Oh, wasn't it Brett Hundley?
Probably makes sense.
If I remember right, they brought in another quarterback. Tyler Huntley didn't look bad either. I mean,
He never does. He always comes in and just look. Literally, you can look away from the screen. You can go to the bathroom. They can sub in Tyler Huntley, and you just think Lamar's on the field.
yeah,
Not skill wise, but they look. It's insane when they like dance around and just
Same
break
play
tackles.
calling. Yeah.
It's wild. Who'd you pick, Austin?
In the Eagles Giants game.
Ravens Steelers.
Oh yeah, I'm going Baltimore in this one. They're now tied with the Bengals for the division lead, so this is a game that they need to win. And it's just a game at the beginning of the season that they expect to win, so they gotta win it.
TT, who you thinking?
Yeah, I still think the Ravens end up winning this one. You get Tyler Huntley, full week of practice with the starters. I like the chances that he's got against the Steelers team, who I will say surprised me last week. Definitely surprised me. Najee Harris had one of the nastiest stiff arms I've seen in a while, but I still think Baltimore wins this game.
He dribbled him like a basketball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Steelers for this one at home. I like Huntley as well, but last week I said it, and I wish I would have stuck with it. I said the Steelers can win this game against the Falcons with if they win the turnovers, like a Minka Fitzpatrick interception is what I said. They won on a game-sealing Minka Fitzpatrick interception. So I think I love the Steelers defense. I don't know what they're ranked this year. I don't know what the difference is from last year, but I love the players they have on defense, and I know that they can strike at any time. So I'm going Steelers at home.
It's TJ Watt, man. TJ Watt. I was seeing a stat line, and it was like they have one win without TJ, and all their other wins have come with TJ. And the sacks were like doubled when he played. It was.
He is
an insane
freak.
sack. Yeah, he is.
All right, let's go to the Sunday late afternoon games. Chiefs at Broncos. Chiefs favored by 9 in this game. Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs to bounce back in this one.
Broncos are butt.
Yeah,
they're not good.
If anyone watches this and you're a Broncos fan, I apologize, but I also apologize you have to watch that team.
Yeah. Sorry, Skillo.
They can't let go of Nathaniel Hackett fast enough.
They have to, because they have the weapons. That's such a good roster.
Yeah.
It's just.
You would think so. You would think it's a good roster. I mean, the defense is playing great.
Yeah.
But your offense hasn't scored more than like 15 points. And I don't think other than like once this whole year. So
I don't know if it held true this. Yeah, they didn't score a touchdown this week, did they?
No.
So Jamal Williams added to this. He has scored more touchdowns than the Broncos team.
Russell Wilson has more bathrooms in his house than he does touchdown passes.
Yeah, facts. They were saying Peyton Manning's like first game with the Broncos, he threw 7 touchdown passes, and Russell Wilson has like 7 right now, and it's week 14.
Yeah, someone pointed out a stat, or not a stat, but a clip of the game, and it was a lot of it is Russell Wilson. Something's not going right. That's another quarterback we could have talked about easily. A guy that we're used. Yeah, I mean, he's played so bad that we forgot about him when we were having our topic earlier. So
yeah, he's not playing even relevant to talk about, to be honest. All right. Bucks at Niners. Niners favored by 3.5 in this game at home with Brock Purdy at quarterback.
And I'll tell you what, the Niners defense keeps them in this game. Brock Purdy does enough to win. Tampa looks sorry. They shouldn't have won last night. I'm glad they did. I had them on a parlay, but I gotta say, the Niners team is good. They don't need a great quarterback to win games. They just need someone to get the ball to the receivers.
They need a game manager like they have at every quarterback that they have.
Yep. And Brock Purdy's that guy.
I'm right there with you. I'm going Niners in this game.
Yeah, I'm going San Francisco as well. Like you guys were saying, there's a lot of different QBs that can win in this offense. But how fun would it have been to see Trey Lance and what he could have done with CMC and all these weapons in this offense? It would have been so fun to watch.
I think we're going to see it next year. I think that they're not done with Trey Lance yet. I know that for a fact. I think Jimmy G goes to another team.
Probably the Colts.
Hopefully the Texans. So Lions have their choice at quarterback if they want one. But we'll see.
The little Jimmy G update. It sounds like he'll be out 7 to 8 weeks. Not a season-ending injury. They thought it was the lace front foot, broken foot, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Turned out it wasn't that, and 7 to 8 weeks, so he could still possibly get in playoff wise.
Yeah, it's just hopefully they can make it with Brock Purdy. I mean, playoffs is a different monster, but I feel like at that point he's going to be good. I feel like he's going to at least be who he's going to be at that point. You know, he's going to be the best version of himself.
He beat Miami.
Yep. All right. Panthers at Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 3.5 in this game. You guys know how high I've been on Seahawks all season. I am a huge Seahawk fan right now. I mean, technically, I need them to lose as a Lions fan. I need them to not be in the wild card. But I'm locking this one. Seahawks minus 3.5 is my lock. They're winning this game by 10.
Yeah, give me the Seahawks in this one as well. That Seahawks offense looked good. DK looked amazing. The only thing that I'm a little hesitant on is Kenneth Walker's status, and I think they're going to be patient with him and getting him back in there. But I still think Seahawks defense has even looked good too this season.
Yeah, Tariq Woolen's looking like a defensive rookie of the year candidate.
Yep, he absolutely is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Seattle in this one too. I don't want to pick Seattle. I dislike Seattle. I don't like Pete Carroll. I think he's ugly. But give me Seattle in this one.
All right. Sunday Night Football, fun offensive game. Dolphins at Chargers. Dolphins favored by 3 in this game. That's kind of wild to me. Dolphins favored by 3 against this Chargers. I feel like they're kind of the same team. I mean, just a really high-powered offense. But I like it. I'm going Dolphins on the road. I'm going Tua, Tyreek. Waddle's not going to have the same, down game like he had. So yeah, I'm going Dolphins in this game.
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins as well. I mean, the Chargers have been one of the biggest disappointments of the season as well, and they've only won 2 of the last 5 games. The Chargers have, and it was only to the Falcons, 20-17, and then Arizona they only beat them by 1 point. So they just have not looked good all season, and I think
you didn't even have to say the teams, bro. You didn't have to say the teams, bro.
I think, like TT said last week, I think the Dolphins have one of the best, if not the best, offenses in the league. So that wins them this game.
Yeah, like Austin said, I love the Dolphins offense. I've been riding them a lot this season with my locks. I think they win this week against the Chargers. Chargers look a little iffy to me, so give me the Dolphins.
Speaking of locks, Monday Night Football, Patriots at Cardinals. Patriots favored by 1.5 in this game, and Austin, I think you got something to talk about. I can start because it's not either of my teams.
Yeah, you can say, man. I know the TP hasn't used his lock yet, though, so
I thought it was you. TT, you haven't locked? Austin, who'd you lock?
I locked the
Bengals, wasn't it?
no, it was the Jags.
That's right. My bad. TT, I think you have something to say. My bad, Austin, but I'll start. I'll keep you two apart for right now. I hate it, but I'm going Cardinals in this game at home as the dogs. I just really like their offense. I think that they're a good enough offense to combat that really good Patriots defense. Jack Jones, dog. I really like the Patriots defense, but I like the Cardinals offense. I like that they're at home. They've been extremely disappointing to it's not a surprise to anyone when I say that, but I think that this is a huge bounce back for them. And I think this is a really big game for them. It's a primetime game. They haven't had much to be excited about so far this year. I think they're going to be rocking at home. Are they wearing their all blacks, black helmets? Oh,
Not till Christmas. Not till
less
Christmas.
exciting.
Not till Christmas.
Yeah,
Alright.
so I got to keep my headset boot in this one. I am going with the Cardinals in this one. After watching the offense, I just can't trust it, and I think us traveling all the way to the West Coast is going to play a little bit of a factor. And it seems like we just can't do good in big primetime games this season. So yeah, until we get an offensive coordinator, I just can't trust the offense.
Of course.
Cardinals over the Patriots this week, boys. All day, Cardinals over the Patriots.
I
We're
hope
gonna
we
win
all
this one.
I do too.
We're gonna win this, and then we're gonna win every other game the rest of the season. Make playoffs, make the Super Bowl.
Damn.
You guys probably wouldn't even make the playoffs if you went out.
No, I do think we're gonna win. Like I said, the Patriots defense. I told you early in the season when I was watching you guys, I love your guys' defense. Matthew Judon, I believe, is leading the league in sacks right now, with 13, which is crazy. Kind of seems low to have one person only. Our leading sack is only 13, but I think our offense just is. I do think our offense is better than the Patriots' offense. Our defense has played well enough to the point where I think we can slow you guys down, and we end up winning this week. So,
all right, let's get our random players out there. We got under a minute left, boys. Let's get it. I'm shouting out Wes Welker.
Shouting out Joe Namath.
That was really random.
John Skelton.
Ooh.
Skelton.
All right, give me this helmet. Let's go. Another week in the books, fellas. Lions helmet. If they need me to go out there, I will. Like, subscribe, comment, follow my boys up here. Let's go. Go Cardinals. Go Patriots. Go Lions. We out. Peace.
Yeah.